Hello and welcome to another video, and yes, I know it's been a hell of a long time since my last video. That's because I've been doing various things to going to work, which has worn me out a little bit. It sort of killed off my enthusiasm to make videos because I've just been so tired, and also I've just come back from holiday and I was on there for a week, so yes, I was tired from that as well. So I finally managed to get a bit of energy and basically just come up with a video idea, and this is it. This is my top 3 things I want to see from Chris Chibnall's Doctor Who. So without any further ado, let's do this. Okay, so the first thing is I want to see more well thought out characters. Now, Stephen Moffat characters in recent years haven't been the best or even remotely memorable. There have only been like a couple of really good characters that I've liked. I mean, for example, Bill and Nardole are probably the most likeable characters Stephen Moffat has written for the show since, I don't know, Rory, I guess, because a lot of the sort of supporting characters are usually generally forgettable. This is one thing that Russell T Davies, I think, really nailed when he was doing Doctor Who, was that he wrote so many characters which you loved, and I think that's one of the things that really helps the story drive is the characters, because you have to care about the characters, because it's the same with films and books and things. If the characters aren't well realised and are just too one-dimensional, then that's a really big problem for not just story, but it's also a big problem for future episodes, or just generally, because characters obviously we care about the Doctor because he is, or she now, because obviously we've got a female Doctor now, because we know what that character is like. We've been with that character for over 50 years, and I think now we just need some really good companions, because Chris Chibnall is a fantastic character writer. A lot of his work, I think, is character driven, particularly in Broadchurch. I'm a little bit biased because that's the only sort of Chris Chibnall thing I've experienced, but obviously I've watched a lot of his Torchwood stuff as well. But I think characters, he really needs to. Well, I don't know, he can do a great job already, but I think that's what he needs to reintroduce into Doctor Who, because some of the Stephen Moffat characters, like I've said, have been a bit flat and one-dimensional, and I really think Chris Chibnall can create a lot of some really good characters, and that's what I'm really looking forward to with his reign as showrunner. Unless of course he's going to really do that US style writers room, which I hope the rumour is true, because I think that would really help the show, because that's what the show needs. It's really in need of a fresh start, and I think with the female Doctor, that's definitely what we're going to get. So I think characters is definitely something that needs to be fixed in Doctor Who, because it really needs to have characters which you love. I've liked Bill and I've liked Nardole. I think they've been fantastic, like I've said, but I honestly think we need some, not just companions, but supporting characters, because they, especially in recent years, they have fallen a little bit flat. Like the ones from Knock Knock. I know that wasn't written by Stephen Moffat, but the supporting characters in that story weren't. I didn't really care for them that much, and it's been a recurring theme throughout the Stephen Moffat era. I just didn't really care about the supporting characters. There's only been a few. I can't think of any at the top of my head at the moment, but I can only think of a few that have been actually memorable. So yeah, I think investing interesting characters is something that I think really needs to be sorted out. So yes, that's number 1. Number 3. We'll start with number 3. And go 3, 2, 1. So yes, number 3, I have interesting characters. So let's move on to number 2. Okay, so at number 2 now, I really want to see well thought out story arcs, because we haven't really had a lot of those in the Stephen Moffat era. Because there was a time when we just had a companion used as a plot device, and that was really terrible. That was, I mean, as much as I like Jenna Coleman, I do think that whole Clara Oswald plot device character was just a waste, really. Obviously, she did get more development later on, but I think it just made the character worse the way she was written, and I just don't like her at all. But I think we need more story arcs. I think the plan is that Christian Law is going to have a 5-year reign or something. As I think that's been confirmed by the BBC that Christian Law's got a 5-year contract as showrunner. Should he decide to leave at some point, we will never know. But I think we need to see story arcs which have progress for that long period of time, because I think the Bad Wolf story arc worked really well because that was stretched over 4 seasons. Not necessarily with the same Doctor, but it stretched over what a long time. It was forgotten a little bit in Series 3, but it came back in Series 4 and it all came full circle really nicely. And I think that's what we need to see, because we need something that can hold the show and keep people interested, because one series arc, one arc for one series, I think is something we've seen quite a lot in the Moffat era, and not so much throughout his entire reign. But I think hopefully, because that really does keep the viewer interested, and it helps. It almost helps as well. It's introducing new characters. It's a great device for coming up with new stories, and just if it's well thought out and if it's executed well, then I can't think of a story arc for the next series. We have no idea where this Doctor Who is going to be going. We have no idea in which direction it's going to be taken. All we know so far is that we're getting a female Doctor, and that's literally all we know, I think, because I think Christian was avoiding bringing back any returning villains or characters, because it's going to be completely fresh. I'm not sure about the Daleks though. I'm not sure what their position is, because obviously there's the whole copyright, the rights. If they don't use them in every series, then they get taken away. Hopefully, they might let them off with this series, but I'm not sure, because I'm not too familiar with the whole thing, really. But yes, I think the story arc is incredibly important for a television show, especially when it comes to Doctor Who, because the viewers, we need sort of like an overall mystery. Basically, I think that's what I'm getting at here, is that we need something to keep the viewers interested, and also just to keep. I think it's also a good way to keep the ratings up, because that's why the Russell T Davies era did so well, because the story, the whole series, like the overriding arc, were generally very good. Like I said, the Bad Wolf, and then of course we had the Prophecy for David Tennant's special series. That was good as well. He Will Knock 4 Times. That was really interesting, and we had no idea who it would be, and it turned out to be Wilf, and that was a huge shock looking back on it. I remember being absolutely gobsmacked. I don't know about you, but I was completely blown away. I did not see it coming at all, and I think that's what Doctor Who needs, is a bit of shock now. And of course the whole John Sim coming back, and the Mondasian Simon returning in this recent series, that was all a nice shock, but it wasn't. It was the BBC basically showed it to fans, and they informed us that they're going to make these announcements, and I think one of the things Doctor Who needs to do is to keep secrets, and I hope Christian learns from the series 10, and basically just, if there's any major characters or whatever returning, I hope he does his absolute best to keep them under wraps, because he did a great job with the 13th Doctor. That was kept. That was such a massive secret. Like, nobody knew who it was. Obviously, there was speculation. Nobody knew who the 13th Doctor was going to be. I think it was only like 4 people who actually knew. And so I think, we need more of a mystery in Doctor Who now, just as one of the themes for like a story arc, just to keep viewers interested, because that's really what Doctor Who needs to be now. It's really a lot more interesting than it has been, because then it will just shoot up in terms of ratings, and I think that's what Doctor Who needs as well, is a good viewing figure, good viewing figures, as well as good writing, good acting, and it just needs to improve basically. Because obviously the writing, like I said, has been a little bit wobbly in recent years, but so I think Series 10 has been really good. I've really enjoyed it, and I hope Series 11 continues and progresses and improves, so the show can really return to its popularity, and that's if it does, then that would be fantastic. So let's move on to number 1. And the final thing that I want to see in the Chris Chibnall era is more scary episodes. Obviously, we don't want a scary episode every time, but it would be nice to have more frightening moments in the show's history now and then, because I think the problem is that Doctor Who is not exactly scary anymore, and I think there hasn't really been many threatening elements in the later seasons. I really hope that Doctor Who brings back just makes it scary, because it's just not been. There have just been episodes where some of the villains have just not been as threatening as they could be, or the villains, the ending has just then been dominated by the theme of love, and there's an alien who's in love with another alien or something like that. And an example I can think of is Time Heist. That was going really well. I mean, it wasn't scary or anything, but it was going really well until the end, because it was just ruined by love, basically. And I hope Chris Chibnall, I don't know how well he can write scary stuff, but I think he really needs to start introducing a bit more tension and just basically give us a really scary episode. It doesn't necessarily have to be in the first story, but maybe towards the end of the finale, well, to the end of the series, because a prime example I can think of a really, freaky as hell Doctor Who episode is Midnight. I remember watching that and being really quite terrified. But I think the cliche episode, when people ask what's the scariest, is Blink. Now that was quite a scary story, because the whole Weeping Angels, because they terrified millions of kids across the world. And I think The Empty Child and Doctor Dances were, some proper scary episodes, and they were both written by Stephen Moffat, and before he became showrunner, and didn't do as well as he used to for some reason. But I really hope Doctor Who becomes scary again, and that it's just one of the things that, at the end of the day, it is a kids show, and as well as a family show, and I think if the whole family gets scared by it, the adults, the parents probably won't get scared because they're used to that kind of stuff, but I think they really like seeing their children get scared by something on television. Something which isn't, completely gonna scar them for the rest of their life, but something that is Doctor Who isn't meant to be scary. I think the whole cliche hiding behind the sofa. I've had quite a few people tell adults, parents of children, that they have done that, and grandparents of my grandparents have told me that. My mum and my uncle, etc., used to do that, hide behind the sofa or look away from the TV. But now I just sort of think, did they though? Did they actually, hide behind the sofa? Because it's a massive cliche now. I don't know many kids that actually hide behind the sofa nowadays, because that's sort of becoming that was a bit of a thing 10 years ago. But I don't think it's not really been talked about much now. Like, oh, I hid behind the sofa. I think there were a few kids that actually challenged that sort of that phrase, because I think on Doctor Who Night, or an advert for that, there was a thing that said behind the sofa nobody can hear you scream. I think some people actually challenged that and gave it a go. But yes, I think that's one of the things that Doctor Who needs to be now. Is not only does it need to be interesting and have good stories, it also needs to be scary as well, because I really want to see people talk about Doctor Who and be like, yeah, did you see that episode last week? Yeah, that was really scary. And I really love it when people talk about Blink and the Doctor dances, and they say they were really freaked out by that episode that they saw almost 10 years, well, over 10 years ago. And I just wish that they would say, oh yeah, did you watch that scary episode a year ago or 2 years ago? But I can't remember. Like, there hasn't been a properly scary story in ages. I think that's quite depressing, because I think Doctor Who really needs a scary story so it can stand out from other TV shows and not be just a cheesy comedy fest filled series like series 4 was, because that was mainly Donna giving all that comedy. But I hope, obviously Doctor Who needs comedy as well, because it can be a mixture of things. It doesn't have to be one sort of genre, and that's one of the great things about Doctor Who. It can literally be anything, and you can take it anywhere, anytime, and any place. And I think the creativity of Doctor Who has gone downhill a little bit. I wish I'm sure it will. I'm sure Christian will do a great job, hopefully, and just give us a really great series with scary stories, great stories, and maybe some sad stories in there. So yeah, that's pretty much what I want to see. So yes, thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please leave a few video idea suggestions down in the comment section below, and I shall see you for my next video, which will be whatever I decide it to be. So thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you then.